Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Aziatul Akma BINTI RAHMAN. Today I will present about awareness of logistic company towards the adoption of halal logistics in Malaysia. First, I will go to the introduction. Halal is one of the concepts that is not just accepted by Muslim societies around the world, but also by non-Muslim societies. However, there are several challenges in implementing halal logistics daily operations, particularly in terms of implementation. Despite the fact that several academic research papers have highlighted the issue of halal logistics as critical success component, halal logistics in Malaysia continues to be a huge challenge. The main focus of this research is to determine the awareness level of logistic company employee about halal logistics and also to identify the importance of halal logistic implementation to the logistic company. Next is problem statement. This study is looking into the awareness of logistic company to implement halal logistics. This is because there are many logistic company in Malaysia, but not all company have halal certificates. Second, lack of knowledge about the importance of halal logistic, because nowadays customers are prefer something that are related to halal due to the cleanliness, whether it is Muslim or non-Muslim. Research question in this proposal is: first, what is the factors that are affecting logistic company to implement halal logistic in their company? Second, what is the level of awareness of logistic company employee about halal logistic? And third, what is the importance of halal logistic implementation to the logistic company? The objectives for this study is to determine level of awareness of logistic company employee towards the adoption of halal logistic. Second, to examine the factors that affecting logistic company to implement halal logistic in their company. Third, to identify the importance of halal logistic implementation to the logistic company. For the method, this study will use mixed method, which is quantitative and qualitative. The quantitative approaches are rely on data obtained by the researcher from interviews, questionnaires, and surveys. This research also involves different author opinion, and these two methods will serve as evidence in the awareness towards the adoption of halal logistics. For the importance of this research, this study helps logistics company more aware about the importance of adoption halal logistics in their company. This research will show the factors that affecting the logistic company to implement halal logistic, and also the community and logistic company will able to understand the adoption of halal logistics. There are four subtopics in literature review. First, the concept of halalan thayyiban. The word halal literally means permissible or lawful in Arabic, and it refers to purify in the context of eating. According to the halal thayyiban concept, food must include all aspects of halal, quality and ethics across the value chain, from raw materials and ingredients to processing, packaging, transportation, distribution and the final product for consumers. The halal thayyiban concept is viewed as more comprehensive system aimed at meeting international criteria and being globally acceptable. This is show thayyiban as a new trend and a value-added aspect in the marketing of halal products. It may be concluded that the halalan thayyiban principle is a concept of halal is good, which is an obligation to human to practice. It is everyone's responsibility to seek out the lawful just as it is to abandon and stay away from the haram. Second, concept of halal logistics. All halal products must be processed according to Sharia and must also be tayyib. As a result, they must be safe, secure, non-harmful, hygienic, legally permissible, and wholesome from start to finish. The act of distributing halal products across the halal supply chain is known as halal logistics. Core logistic activities such as transportation, warehousing, material handling, and procurement must all be Sharia compliant to avoid contamination during distribution. As a result, while integrating halal into logistic operations, LSP must ensure consumers that the item were not contaminated by any Sharia concept during any logistic activity, such as transportation, storage, or handling. Third, government roles in logistic industry. Various countries have studied into the role of government in the logistics industry. Companies in China are influenced by the Chinese government environmental regulations and policies to establish sustainable logistic operations. Meanwhile, the Indian government's investment in the country logistics sector have resulted in a lot of better outcome, including improved infrastructure, increased safety, more scalable, lower cost, and an overall improvement in the logistics system. The government contribution might take the form of both financial and non-financial support. Subsidies, capital investment, and tax reduction or exemptions are all examples of government financial support. Non-monetary support comes from the government in the form of policy development and implementation, regulation, and advisory roles. And last literature review is issues in adopting halal logistics. According to Sham, issues in adopting halal logistics are there is still a lack of research to examine the basic requirements for halal logistic implementation, particularly in daily operations. This challenge frequently arises as a result of the study that relates to the topic of halal logistics adoptions. Some companies have stated the government support for the development of the halal industry, especially halal logistics, is insufficient. They further state that workers' lack of awareness of the halal concept caused them to overlook the issue, while the retailer face a challenge with a halal assurance when it comes to keeping goods because they have both halal and non-halal products. Their employees are sometimes unaware that they utilize the same tools to move halal and non-halal goods. In conclusion, awareness towards halal logistics is important to the employer and workers in logistic company to ensure they implement halal logistics. Other than that, logistics provider also should understand the significance of halal logistic adoption for their company, which can give benefit to their profit also to the customer.